Oh! Oh boy! Mama. Oh, baby.
Hey, this is Jim Santinella, and welcome to the first episode of a new podcast spotlighting the figures, artists, and engineers of sound and music. We have a very special show that's been 5 years in the making, and it promises to be one of the most original you will hear. This show focuses on an extraordinary person and friend of mine, David Gibson, who is showcasing his healing sounds that occur while he performs massage therapy. From 2020 to 2025, I recorded 10 massage sessions to document the sounds that David channels and makes during his healing sessions. Specifically, we wanted to chronicle the changing sounds that started to occur right around the beginning of the COVID pandemic. In an interesting turn, these sounds continued to change over the course of the last 5 years, after remaining static for almost 20 years. I was able to sit with David for an interview toward the end of the pandemic, and we discussed his massage practice, where the sounds come from, and how they are expressed. These audio sound segments are cut over 10 separate massage sessions, so they jump out of order a little bit based on the interview questions, but you'll be able to hear the sounds transition over the course of the show. I've been a client of David's for the last 20 years here in Seattle, Washington, and being part of these healing sounds is quite a special and unique experience. At the end of each session, I usually feel drained, like I was knocked out for about 90 minutes, but ultimately I feel refreshed. Special thanks to David for allowing me to record these sessions and to be able to interview him and provide an in-depth discussion. So, turn the lights low, sit back, and hope you enjoy the mysterious healing sounds of David Gibson. Well, let's talk about how you got started in massage. How did you gravitate to this field, and what were you doing before massage?
Interesting. If you remember Get Smart, da-da, and how the doors would shut and open. When I approached going into massage therapy, the doors just opened. Everything was in place really quickly, like housing, financially, etc. And I had been in the restaurant business for a great long time. I had a catering business, and I managed restaurants and hotels around the country. I've lived in like 5 major cities, and it's after a while it's exhausting, because if you're in management, they expect you to work 6 days a week, sometimes 7, and long hours and days. And for when you're younger and you have the vigor for it, it's exciting to be in a really good place, like say Trader Vic's or Windows on the World and so forth. And so I wanted to change, a pretty radical change. So I was reading, I don't know if you recall, there was a magazine here called The Common Ground. So it used to be out like the city, like Seattle Weekly and so forth, and The Stranger. So it used to be in those bins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it was a free publication.
Right. Yeah. But more for the alternative healing arts category of people. And so I found an ad in there for the Seattle Massage School, and I approached them, and like I said, within a few months I was going to school. And there I went to school and did well, and after I got out, they offered me a job at the school to teach. And because I like being like a teacher's aide and assistant, and also I would help people with their studies and so forth. So I had that part-time job doing that. And then after I got out of school, I got a part-time job with the Department of Human Services that offered me, I would also help people with their studies, help them pass their science classes and so forth.
Oh, that's cool.
So we'd like meet at a coffee shop for an hour and just go over their homework and everything, and find out how people learn, and through vision or through audio or through tactile or kinesthetic. And so that was a part-time job. But then getting into the massage business itself was daunting, because you're new. You really don't have what a lot of people have, is like the years of experience and knowing how to handle somebody and give them a good, effective session. So that came over time. The first year that I was in massage business, and ever since I've only done massage, I was still doing some part-time work here at the hotels and restaurants and catering, so especially because you could take whatever shifts you wanted. And then after that, that was about 92, 93. So I got through the first couple years, and was building up a practice.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to the point where the people were coming and they were always returning, so repeat clientele.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been like that for 29 years,
Mm-hmm.
where I have an ongoing business that goes.
And it's mostly word of mouth at this point, right?
It's all word of mouth. I never really advertised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put my card up early around town a few places, and I got a couple clients out of that too that turned out interesting.
Yeah.
So then in I think '95, I met Jack Irons,
Mm-hmm.
and then subsequently toured with the band Pearl Jam. And after that, I was always busy.
Right.
There was that little cachet of, okay, we'll try this guy out.
Yeah.
So around that time, I met Sherry as well. After that, it just over the course of time, many different things happened, and so back in 2000, my spiritual teacher, and guru, Adida Samraj, came to Seattle. I first went to him when I was about 21 years old, and had his first darshan. And I've been...
And where was this?
Where?
Where did you see him?
It was in Northern California.
Yeah, okay.
That's where the main sanctuary still is.
Yeah.
And then Fiji was kind of the Hermitage Island retreat. And and he's been my teacher since, to this day, to this moment. But in 2000, he came, and he was at the Westin. And so I noticed there's a couple guys, we were all kind of sitting in the front, and one guy went up, and a guru's feet kind of dance around, and the power and energy comes actually out of the feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this one guy put his hands up. He went to bow, and he put his hands up and to receive the blessing into his palms. So the minor chakra there. So I did that, brought up and offered a flower, did that, and then for about a good solid 4 or 5 minutes, it was like watching somebody have an epileptic seizure. My body was shaking all over uncontrollably, and I was sobbing, but I was in a different place. I wasn't upset, alarmed, or anything else. I was just not there. But the body was doing something, but I wasn't actually present for it. And then I sort of came back in, and I had a thought, like, there's people behind me that want to come up here too. I've been up here for a while. And then it stopped. So I returned to my seat, and every time he would look over, the whole feeling would start to come again. Mm-hmm. My body would shake all over, and I'd hold my hands up. And he goes around the room, he looks over your head and brings the force down. But there was sort of this tacit, nonverbal communication, like, I've given you something. So then, directly after that, this young man and his partner, it was Adida's daughter, I had a message that they wanted to see me after that. And I thought, my thinking, the Oedipal was like, see that guy? He's out of here. But what they actually wanted was they wanted a massage, because they had been there too, and I worked on a lot of devotees over the years. And so I worked on them, and after that, everything changed. It's like my heart opened, and psychic ability kind of opened, in a sense. My sensitivity to everything opened. Things were a little brighter. Mm-hmm. But what happened, which was transformed in me bodily, is my hands sort of became like barcode readers. And you have this experience where I go over somebody and I can feel what's there.
Yeah,
and it's just
freaky.
Yeah, it's just tacit. It's just like instant gnosis, and it's like irrefutable. It's just like I can just go like that. I don't have to touch somebody, and I can feel what's pulsing in the terrain below. And then I'm drawn to those areas, and then I engage them, and then a fusillade of sounds come out of me. So I've been a sound healer of sorts since 2000, so 21 years. And they have changed. They were pretty much the same for a lot of years. But around the beginning of the pandemic, January, February of 2020, they started to change, and you've recorded them,
Yeah.
and you've been witness to the fact that they do in fact distinctly change.
Yeah.
That's about opposite away. That's a bit opposite. That's a bit away. That's a bit away. Whoa!
Wow. Oh boy.
That's what bit. That's about a wow. That's a bit away. Opposite to a tip. That's up a bit. That's up a away. That's a bit. Whoa!
Wow.
That's a bit away.
Wow. Oh boy.
I'm a sort of David. That's a bit. I'm a bit. Whoa! Oh boy! Whoa! That's
Oh boy.
but say no, I'll say oh, what?
Oh, wow.
It's a boss better day, most a bit, it's a bit, it's a bit, it's a bit, hey, whoa!
Oh boy.
It's a potato,
Oh.
I'm a so pretty, as a ball away. Oh, some me, so pretty, some, as a ball away, that's a bubble say, hey, what? That's what's it? That's a ball away, wait.
Oh boy.
That's a ball away, that's a ball away.
Oh boy.
Man, it was up, man. And so potato, and so potato, and so potato, and so hey, and so hey,
Wow.
and potato, and potato, and potato, and so potato. Amazado, Azabe, Azabat, Azabadaway. Whoa! Ah, what's a baby, busy? Hey. And Spano, hey.
I think I introduced a new sound to
You did. In fact, you did. I was working on you. It might have been even twice or something when the new sound started. So isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Yeah. And so let's see what happens tonight, right?
Yeah, right.
So this current iteration, I mean, it's hysterical. They're called the baby sounds, and especially the little baby sounds. And those words actually come out of me with a force. And what I've noticed also is that I engage the tissue, engage the sounds, I can feel what's happening there, and then I move away from the body. But I'm engaged with your energy field, and then the big booming sounds come. So actually move away, because all these sounds will come, and then a different set will come as well that are actually the ones I think that do the vibrational healing and reharmonize the tissue. And so there will be booming sounds, muscular, and then the tissue softens, opens, releases, and it gets quiet. I'll then engage it, and it's like sonar. So I sort of put the energy comes in, and then what I'm getting back then is silent. So a session initially could start off very loud, and initially the first level is actually a lot of laughter. And the first 5 or 10 minutes could be a lot of, everything I'm engaging is laughter. It's kind of like getting into the energy field, going a little bit lower. Like sometimes I have this thing I call hot stove, where I can't actually touch somebody because the energy is so intense. Maybe the stress is really high or whatever. And so I'll just kind of clear that out energetically while laughing most of the time. And then I actually touch the body and so forth. And then we just start assessing what's going on. So when I'm working on, say, someone's tight neck or shoulders, they have a lot of chronic stuff from going back in time to where it's a chronic condition, maybe 15, 20 years of an injury, high school sports or something. It's now that I'm able to get to a deeper level in releasing things like that. It could take some focused work, but if somebody had a chronic issue, I've been able to relieve all kinds of conditions by doing that. So and also every session is different now, so it's interesting. And then when I'm laughing in the session too, it's with utter delight. So it's also kind of lifts me up and out to engage somebody, because I'm completely kind of given over to the process, and I kind of submit to what's in front of me, and allow myself to be to serve and be a conduit.
Hey, baby! Oh, baby, baby! Oh, baby, baby! Oh, wow! Oh, your knee's been bothering you?
A little bit, yeah. This right one.
Yeah, it feels a little wonky. I feel it. There's a oh. So the thing I call hot stove, like when I can't even actually touch you. So down and through here. So it's a beso, it's a middle, it's a middle, it's a middle. It's a bar. Oh no! Oh wait! Oh baby! Oh baby! Oh oh oh! Oh so busy, oh so busy, baby, baby. Oh wait, baby! Oh baby, baby! Oh. Say Molson, it's ominous and bubbles in the mall. No, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, hot. The most bowl, baby. I saw it out of way. I'm supposed to better away. Oh, see. I'm supposed to baby. Oh boy. I'm supposed to away. How do you know? Oh, I'm supposed to away. Stop it. Oh no! Out of the way! Oh! Whoa! Oh no, baby! Out of the way, baby! Out of the baby, baby! Out of the way, baby! Hey! Oh, hey! I'm so masturbating. Uh-oh. I'm a zero. I'm so better. I'm a zero. So that last big sound was related to right in through here. And so I just come up next as the energy, and then I can move around the table, and the sounds will still be working in that area.
Without experiencing it personally, it sounds crazy. It sounds unbelievable, improbable, not scientific. And there's another realm beyond our three-dimensional world, and it sort of comes from another dimension. Because there's a series of sounds that have distinct characters, and it's almost like they're in the room, if you will. And I don't really know exactly how it happens, but they kind of know what's going on and where to go, and there seems to be like a main character and a sidekick. But then there's probably about at least in any given time about 50 different sounds that will come out.
And he's come from different characters, beings.
It's all like one fluid thing. As I'm engaging, the sounds are coming, and things are going through transformation. So it's like I engage, I feel what's going on, like it's my own body. So in that sense, I sort of dissolve as a separate persona, and just sort of feel the environment, and just try to reharmonize the environment, including the body and the energy fields, the different sheaths of a human being. So there's definitely energy fields right beyond us. The first would be the astral and so forth, but it goes out to the causal. So I work with the different sheaths as well. So that has been able to engage sometimes insights into what's happening with people, and but that'd be more for something for people to talk about or tell, what happened to them or what was revealed, or visions they had. Some people have a lot of visions, and a lot of people go very parasympathetic, and as you know, a lot of people just start sleeping. and or going in a deep altered state, and I'm basically yelling very loud, like at a rock concert.
There's moments where sometimes my eardrum kind of like goes. But to your point, I'm one of those guys that conks out. Right?
It's fairly common.
Yeah.
So it's paradoxical in that respect. Like if somebody's creating all this sound, it would be almost irritating. And it might be to some people, and I do have some people that wear earplugs, which I've begun to offer, and I've had a couple people that started bringing, but then, for the most part, I've had people that have dystonia or they have audio sensitivities. They're very sensitive to sound. Like if in another building there's a dishwasher going, that can irritate them. They have that sound sensitivity syndrome. And but they're able to process the sounds. They're able to. It just like this. It's a different sort of vibration than just noise. Yeah. So it carries like some kind of force with it.
That's what. Now see, with the longer laugh, that was a trigger point, and then it gets quiet. So basically, I go through the whole body. It's middle it, and just work it. Whoa! Whoa! See what I mean? They're different.
I wanted to go back. When you first started massage, how did you start, and what kind of massage were you practicing? Was it more of traditional massage?
Yeah, well, absolutely. The way I was trained, Swedish deep tissue treatment massage. I did take Reiki as well, and became a Reiki teacher. That was in '95, and so I taught that for a long time. And I still did attunements and empowerments for a while, almost as gifts of health. So I quit charging for Reiki at one point, and just gave people the attunement and some instruction about how to use it on themselves and how to use it on others. So I thought it was a gift to be given at one point, rather than be the hold for monetary, monetize it and so forth. And it was my benefit to understand when you give things away, how that is almost superior way to do things. In that the experience is so full, and the aftermath is so full. Just like people do pro bono work, and they might confess that the rewards were more than it would be as a monetary session.
And then after you went to go see Adidam, things sort of changed. Your massage
they changed instantly.
Instantly?
Right. Yeah. Like just right then. And if I sort of keep a daily discipline of certain practices in meditation and so forth, maintain myself in bodily equanimity as best I can, which wasn't always the case, my case. There was a lot of exaggeration, exaggerated times in my life and so forth, especially when I was younger. I had a lot of force and energy, so I didn't quite understand, but sometimes I felt limitless, so I would carry that to the max, the nth degree sometimes, in search of like the most intense experience you could possibly have. And so now I say I'm. It's very, very stark in that I really prefer just a very quiet life, and quiet and simple.
Oh boy, hey, on the way, hey, oh, that's always it. Oh, that's about it. Way, hey, on the way, hey, hey. As a bit, as a body. Oh, as a bit on the way. Hey, out of way. That's the body. As a habit. As a body. As a bit on. Oh, 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 oh,
Going back to your scanning, your barcode scanning, I've specifically walked into these massage sessions and not told you maybe a couple of things that were bothering me just to kind of see if you'd find them, and you always find them.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, like what happens? What are you feeling when?
It's sort of like turning the lights on a Christmas tree. Like I'll find a hot area, and all of a sudden, like I said, it's instantaneous gnosis. Like I'm just really aware of it, and sometimes it'll make my hand vibrate and so forth. So, for example, we'll look at the. I know right now that I'm going to find things on your leg, and so it's when people come and sit with me, and I just kind of look them over, and then I sort of get certain feelings about things, And we've joked around in the past about you don't really have to tell me anything. But of course, in practice, that's not practical. What is your primary concern?
Yeah.
What hurts? What would you like me to help you with? And so forth. You ask all those questions and address them. And and sometimes, like the gate theory, you can only feel so many different painful places. So you might have like one primary thing and maybe one or two other peripheral. But there's probably other things happening as well. But you're not, you don't have the access to that sort of information until I get on it. And then I can find out other things that are also blocked, blockages, lower vibrations, and things like that.
Oh my, oh boy. Number Z, 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 bye, die, die, how's up, baby? Hey, hey, hey!
I wanted to dig in a little bit about, like, I was trying to think back to when I first started to come to see you, and so it must have been close to 18 years now, something along those lines, which is crazy to even think about, right? But I was just trying to think of the original sounds of what was going on, and I remember a little bit of coughing, right? A coughing sound,
right.
or maybe like a zzz, a buzzing kind of a sound, or something along those lines. And what do you think happened during the pandemic, or probably a little bit before the pandemic, that started channeling all these new sounds?
That's a good question. Why were they sort of static or the same for almost 20 years until a year and a half ago, or just over that period of time? My feeling about it, going back into the fall of 2019 and the winter of 2019, was that the energies of the earth itself had changed, and we're accelerating, and we're starting to vibrate at a higher rate. And I think that vibration has also been part of the great purification, as we see witness to right now in what's happening in the world. It's like you could call it a great rightening, so to speak. So these different levels of energy came in. The sounds in one session would just transform into, you would call back, there was a time it was very native, as the wayo sounds. Yeah. And wayo, and I would be dancing around and my body would bob up and down. And also when I have the sounds, now when I'm getting into the real screamers, is my hands just go up in the air, my body moves around, I might shake my hands over your body or start tapping on your body and so forth. It's all just sort of comes to me without thinking. I don't really think about what I'm doing. It feels like a guided sort of thing. That's if I'm in that place where I have sort of submitted and given over, and I just allow it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then things will occur to me during the session too, like, I need to work on the belly, because I feel like there's something there. Yeah. And then we go, I'll turn over and find out, there was things that it was fruitful to address in the session.
Hello, baby. Well, hey, baby. Oh my. I'm a zip it. Oh, top of the ball. I'm a zip, oh, me, I'm a zip, mama. I'm a zip, oh, so, Baba zip, dear, I'm a zip, baby. Hey, honey, hey, baby. Hey, baby, mama. Hey, how do we? Hey, how do we? Mama. Baby. Hey, baby. Mama. Wow. Hey, how do we?
Are there other people that you know that are doing something similar to what you're doing?
I haven't met anybody or heard of anybody, except with one exception, and it was I heard about a gal in West Seattle. When she went over the body, she would find blockages, and she would burp or belch. So I thought that was, sort of a stimulus response kind of thing. Like,
sort of
there was some thing like, what's happening in your session is what you're bringing to me.
Yeah.
And this one acupuncturist was joking around with his client, and she said, David was really noisy last night. Mm-hmm. And he goes, but you were really noisy.
Internally, right?
and that, you brought this stuff, and that's what it took to have the catharsis and the rebalancing and get things back into harmony and quiet.
Hey, how do we? Hey, Mama. Oh boy. I'm a zeta baby, baby, mama. Hey, how do we?
I'm assuming you have some new people that come. Are there people that don't know what kind of sound healing they're in for?
It's rare, and it's usually, one of my secret joys is like if somebody has no background. It doesn't happen very often, because the people that refer to me, they have to suss out how that person, if they're ready for something like this, and but it's sometimes people will come and they don't have a background, but they get it right away.
Yeah.
I said, okay, it's sort of self-explanatory and self-authenticating, because you'll notice what happens if you just kind of sit with it for the 5 or 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I think there are some people that the bandwidth isn't there. They'll come and it's just like...
Yeah, it's maybe too much for them.
Yeah.
They're not there mentally.
Yeah. So, or it's just not their cup of tea.
Sure.
Right, they want a different experience.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember I walked into a cold. Sherry didn't tell me.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, I don't think I ever told you that. It was just kind
Right.
of funny that you brought it up, and I'm like, she scheduled the massage, gave it as a gift to me, and then
Right.
sort of was like, well, it's like, wow, that was really unique, Yeah.
Well, I remember also. I used to, trade with Sherry and
yes, that's right.
Get
That might have been
acupuncture from her for years, and people would sometimes say, without knowing that I've been to acupuncture, like, "Hey, that was one of the best sessions I had."
Yeah.
So she could tune me up into even getting me into a better place to be able to do that for somebody.
Baby, hey baby.
We talked a little bit about this, but I'd like to dive in a little bit on more the music side of some of the stuff that you've been working on too. So, you mentioned Jack Irons and touring with Pearl Jam. Have you done some other tours along the way? And how are the musicians reacting to?
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't done toured with any other bands.
Yeah.
I do have a fair number of musician clients that are pretty active and well known and so forth, and are kind of getting back into touring now and into playing shows.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, that finally.
Yeah, that was a long drought for them, and a lot of people suffer. They had to do other things and so on and so forth. Or some people just were able to make the most creative, fertile period for them. So I worked on a number of Seattle bands, like Flight to Mars, the tribute band to UFO, the Mike McCready's project. So Mike Musburger's the drummer for that band. He's been a client of mine since I met him in Europe back in '96, and a regular client all these years, as of 25 years or more. And so, in that band, three or four of the guys in the band I've worked on, either at the venue or have been clients before. So I'd go down in the show box and just do some massage beforehand in the little dressing room, and or in some sessions prior to it. So there's I still enjoy. I get a wide spectrum of people that I see that have other disciplines in arts and teaching and so forth, and so it's a real Seattle is so diverse and there's such a spectrum of people, so they're kind of represented in my practice. There's people from different areas of place, and they had their their measures of of good works and success in their field
Mm-hmm.
and so forth. So it's an interesting group that comes as well. And I always enjoy the company of the people that I see. So it's, and I've been a hard worker all my life.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of down to like, getting up there in age and so forth, to a less busy
Mm-hmm.
per day, more just like a couple, because the sessions are long, and a lot goes into it beforehand and afterwards. So that's that works. That suits me now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when I was younger, I do 4 or 5 sessions, long sessions a day, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And then what I would balance that with is like going to taking like 4 vacations a year, like down to the ocean or the
Right.
redwoods or Bright Bush Hot Springs, or Canada or California, and so taking there's always one on the horizon,
Mm-hmm.
so I could maintain that, and it's also just a natural pleasure and joy to do what I do, and I get up, I was like, oh, who do I have today? And I was, oh, that person. I haven't seen that person in a while,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's always a good feeling to work and with each new morning to be able to do this, and it still continues to show me things.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Because it's sort of, when the sounds change, other things change too. So then it sort of reveals things to me as well. For I found out that I could work on myself
Mm-hmm.
and engage the sounds.
Baby, 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 oh, baby. Did it hit in here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And there's swelling superior to it. Baby, baby, baby. Hey, baby. A little baby. A little baby. Hey. Oh, my. Oh, boy. Oh, baby, oh, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Hey, baby. A little baby. A little baby.
How are the sounds helping you?
Well, the feeling is the surge and waves of energy that come from above and wash through my whole body, and I get the same benefit as the person
Mm-hmm.
does. So at the end of a session, I'll be in like a still, deep place,
Mm-hmm.
and I could go sit and meditate at that time, or make dinner,
Yeah.
But I'm in a serene place from the vibrations, and sometimes it's energizing. And if there's been a lot of big sounds with somebody that's got a lot going on or relatively new, then it's sort of like it'll take it out of you a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. But even if I get up and you've had a night of difficult dreams or something like that, or just wake up sort of in a mood, when I go to work, I just drop all that, and then I engage and surrender, and then I'm lifted out. So it's sort of like I could start off with, the committee, like a bunch of monkeys, and then end up in a sweet spot.
You're internalizing a lot, or at least passing the healing on other people. I'm assuming that you're probably feeling a lot of the either negative energy or positive energy from people as well. Is that kind of washing over you in a way? I wouldn't call them, give them the qualities of negative or positive.
I would say things that were out of balance, obstructed, blocked, chronic, habit patterns of using the body, like people on computers with their wrists and their back and their neck. So those sort of things are kind of obvious. But there's other things that occur as well, psychically and emotionally. So that's another level that the sounds work on and purify, and that's an exciting area to see. Some people have just been with me for many, many years. Like practically all my clients are repeat clients. Yeah. And so we've been together on this journey for some 5, 10, 15, 20 years sometimes. Yeah. So it's like a family of sorts. Yeah. I feel the intimacy with them because you're in that condition where you surrender, turn over, and then like there's no real difference happening, and then just allowing the sounds to do what they're going to do. Really, it's sort of like I'd say, okay, take it away, the characters and the sounds, and just let them go, let them do what they do.
And then do you know when you're affecting somebody? Do you have that moment like, oh, I got it. I hit that person in a positive way there.
That's a good question. What'll happen sometimes if there's an area, somebody's have the chronic right shoulder problem, so forth, from an old baseball injury or something like that. If we get down to a place of resolution on the nitty-gritty level, it's also become an emotional thing for them, my body will say, yep.
What you
or
verbalize
or
that
good.
as well? Or
Yeah,
just
that'll
internalize?
verbalize on its own as well. So then I just keep moving. But I'll come down, and there'll be a point of sort of tacitly knowing it's resolved, and then I can move on. But it'll go absolutely quiet too. I won't get any sounds out of it. But my body will say yep or good or some little sound, guttural, uttering guttural.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Well, we both had a little bit of something in common. We both lived in New York City. I know that both of us lived in the East Village.
Absolutely. Yes.
You in a little bit of a different era. I lived in the mid to late 90s, and believe you were in what period of time?
Early 80s.
Early 80s,
yes.
Yeah. So what brought you out to Seattle from?
Well, New York, as you know, is very intense. I lived in New York, San Francisco, for many years. I'd been in D.C. area, in Alexandria, Virginia, because I had a brother there. So I managed restaurants there and had a wonderful partner. So I was there for a while. But it's not really my cup of tea. The West Coast has always been where I've sort of connected to. And my spiritual community is located here. Seattle has a large community. It's the pandemic has sort of, worn everybody a little thin. And I think the first time we might even get together will be for Guru Purnima, which will be later in the month. We might actually get into a room together. Everybody's vaccinated, and we'll wear masks and so forth, but we'll be with each other, which we've all been missing. Being with other people, is sort of starving for company. But I sort of feel blessed in this pandemic time is with great protocols and precautions and so forth, and making sure people are healthy, being able to stay connected with other people on a daily basis. So I know some people that if they live alone or something as I do, don't really have those opportunities and can sort of feel isolated or disconnected. Your mind just takes you you detach from things, and then life becomes uncomfortable and without pleasure or just native delight. So I felt blessed coming through the pandemic, where I was able to connect with people on a daily basis, and it kept me sane.
I'm a zip photos up, that's a bit, do 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 that's a boss up, that's a bit, that's a bit, that's a zip hit, that's a bit, that's a haze it, that's a zip, that's a bit away. Whoa. Oh boy! That's a better way! That's a better baby! That's a better way! Oh, hey! Oh boy! Hey, Basit! Do do. Zero do. That's a bobbit. That's a bubba. That's a bubba. That's a buzz a bit. I'm a zit do. That's a bit. That's a bit. That's a bit. That's a bit. Wowza! And what's up, it? Opposite do. Opposite do. That's a bad. I'm a zip boo do. I'm a zippity I'm a zippo, I'm ABC, that's a butt away. Whoa! I'm a zip do, that's a bit, that's a bit do, that's a zip, I'm a zip do, that's a bit do, oh, it's a bit of day, that's a better way. Hey! It's a moment. It's a buddy. Opposite. I'm a zero way. Wow. Oh boy. Wow. I'm a zero dee. Oh, the bit wow. Oh boy. Whoa. Somebody. Oh boy. I'm a zip dee. That's a papa day. Oh. That's a papa. That's a papa zero way. That's a zero way. Oh boy. Wow. Zinger. Oh, hey. Oh boy. That's a better way. Hey.
What do you foresee in the future for yourself for the next few years?
Well, the plan is to continue to do the practice, and but also plan for what might be after that. I've been on this current the baby sounds have been about 4 months now, something like that. Yeah. So they were usually changing about every 3 or 4 months, and it just changes in one session, and then the other ones are just completely gone. I remember something that's kind of fun about the last sounds was I said dodi dodi a lot, and then sometimes I would say odi dodi. So I have this couple that comes, and I was seeing this one lady primarily, and then her wife started to come. Her dog's name is Dodie, and its nickname is Odie Dodie. So she got to experience Odie Dodie while she was on the table.
That was pretty funny.
So I don't know if I'm some derivative in some way, and how they because there's a different vocabulary that spontaneously arises with each change. So that's sort of what's today going to bring.
For a new person that comes to see you, is there a different way that you approach it, or does it kind of happen all the same way you would see me come in here for 18 years?
Well, first of all, I check if somebody has talked to them about that there's going to be sounds and different sorts of things, and usually it's that old birds of a feather thing. The people that do come, it's appropriate for them, and it works for them. To not with everybody, but to a certain degree. And so I basically say that it's inexplicable, but it will reveal itself. So just kind of just let the process happen. And once in a while I'll feel a little tentative, because sometimes I'll feel like this muscular rush of just energy in my belly wanting to be expressed, and that might be too much, right? But then I have to give myself permission to let it do its thing and let it turn over, and just and yeah, it goes. And then some people end up in a very deep, quiet place. Maybe better than when they came in, and so forth afterwards.
So be Odie. Oh, so Papa. And so be Dobby did. And Bossa Papa said. And so Papa Papa. And so Papa said I did. And Bossa Papa baby baby. And so Papa baby 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 baby. And so Bossa Papa da 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 da. And Bodo baby. Body don't Bossa baby. Bossa Papa did. Hello baby. Hello baby. So me baby. Oh boy, how much? No, drink away. Oh boy,
Have you ever gone somewhere or did something that kind of surprised you as far as a sound coming out that you weren't even expecting or never?
Once in a while, there will be some sounds that are completely out of the blue. That haven't been in any set of different types of sounds. I remember one that was really funny. There was a guy who used to come. He's a psychiatrist, and we had this session. He had a spastic psoas muscle, and he was double over in pain with it. And when we were, I was all of a sudden he was shouting out my captain. So he was yelling back to me. But I started yelling out the names of famous authors. just like Shakespeare, for example, or Goethe, And there were like a half a dozen. They weren't even particularly my favorite authors, but he kept saying my captain, and his body was moving around. And some people, their bodies move around quite a bit, or they might have sounds themselves to some degree, or their body might shake. And sometimes toward the end, if I'm doing the Reiki and the energy work in the end, my body shakes. And so it's sort of like I'm trembling because so much force is coming through toward the end. And that's sort of just waves of energy coming into the being, and just to sort of silencing and deepening their awareness. But yeah, no, there's different things that have happened over the years. Yeah. I've had people bring in their therapist, bring in a witness to watch. Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I remember this one lady, this woman, she was in the Himalayas with the monks back in the 70s, and had sort of a Kundalini awakening. Fascinating person. She was a doctor, and so her body would go into yoga positions, and she'd be flying all over the table, and she'd be doing these as if she was assuming the form that was prior, like a crystal form. And so that led to my understanding that the yoga positions were given as a gift. They weren't created by some individual. It's sort of like this given way to harmonize the body. And so she would just fly into those and also have a lot of vocalization and so forth. And or I've worked on people that were in my spiritual practice, and I remember the one guy, we were both shaking so much I had to call somebody in to hold him down to ground him, right? Grab his feet. He goes, oh. Wow. So yeah, there's been a wide variety of things. I'll have to take some time one day to write down the more ones that might be interesting for people to hear about.
Oh boy, yo 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 yo, hey 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 hey, baby. Baby.
I was kind of alluding to the future, what's next, but I was curious where you wanted to take the practice. Where do you want to take your practice, or anything that you're hoping to kind of discover in the next few years?
I guess the only intention would be for even a more deepening process, both with myself in my practice of life and to be able to bring people into a deeper place where it gives them, where they start to understand there's more than just the body mind, or the first three stages of life, or life in the field of fear, anger, and sorrow in the theater of money, food, and sex. There's more beyond that, and that's heartening to understand that that some people have a despair about the late stage materialism and dark period we're in, and so that would be a gift, hopefully. Otherwise, I'm just sort of open-minded because, like I said, when I'm in the process, I sort of turn it over. Like people would say, I would surrender to what's going to happen.
Right.
And like in the beginning, I don't have a clue what I'm going to do, and then it unfolds. And always I want people to check in and let me know. Well, if you have time, will you address this area as well? My ankle's been sore, or I have a neuroma in my right foot, so address that stuff as well.
Baby, oh baby, hey baby, hey baby, hey hey hey, oh baby, whoa, 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 wow.
Is there anything that you wanted to say that I didn't ask you about that maybe you felt was important for people to know?
Well, I wanted to thank you for recording these sessions, and of course, for the opportunity to speak about it a little more. Like I said, it's a mysterious process that sort of was given as a gift, and I feel my heart is into using the gift, and also it supports my living in a very benign, gentle, beautiful way. So,
thank you, David.
Yes, thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh baby, I'm a